What do you make of DRS in Computershare?
I don't. I don't. When I see it all over the internet, I'm skeptical to run to it. And everything. Look at this. Look at this. Let's all do this. Not for me. Roy and Kitty never DRS'd from what you see in his
Mm.
account. I had 50 shares DRS. That's it, 50. So a big thing on my channel, we say 51 a lot. They ask you how many shares do you have? Everyone answers 51. They'll never tell you what they have because it's 50 plus one every day. So my 50 DRS shares plus the fact that I buy one every day. And that's just what I've been doing for 4 years. But everyone knows, if they believe in DRS, it's one thing. The functionality of DRS, great. Liquid markets become illiquid, that becomes dry, and then this is what happens. Your price gets pushed down, so don't cry to me when you guys are like, oh, I can't wait, what's happening, look at this manipulation. They can still manipulate a smaller float, and that's what they're doing right now. The float you see is not the float that's out there floating around. So to have less than 1%, in the middle of the day like we did today, trade back and forth, I know it's empty. But you'll have to have price discovery, market makers. You'll have to figure it out. You're not going to sell many shares at $24, $25. That's why the price can go down.
Mm.
People literally refuse to sell their shares at this price. It's too low. The fact that when it goes up, it gets more volume, it's because people are now going back and forth. But not really. Not really.
Mm.
People are hanging on to these shares forever. I'm very, I'm hopeful the stock will double within the next year, and then it'll double from that point too. So you're looking for 50 sometime this year, and then 100 by the time 2026 comes. But I'm talking about 50 by like next month, maybe. Who knows? This number is going to be massive coming out, the quarterly number. So I'm very excited.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I know
Just you
so.
think we're starting to see fruition of all of the moves that you talked about?
I know it for a fact that it's going to be $100 to $200 million worth of profit, without a doubt. I've already done all the math and factored in ratios of gross profit margins, amount of sales, and yeah, there's just no way. There's no way they'll end up coming in at $5 billion worth of assets. Current ratio of 5x, 6x. It's everything you want it to be. PE ratios are going to matter, and profit's going to matter. You're going to look if they come in at, let's just say $100 million, they're 18x on profit. 13x on profit. Like that's where you want to be. And is Wall Street going to tell you they're up 1,300%, 1,800%? We'll find out. We'll find out if Wall Street finally gets this right. But there's only one analyst that covers GameStop because they don't give out guidance. That's the punishment to GameStop for staying quiet. That's okay. It's not up for GameStop to know what the stock price is worth. It's not up to them. Let Wall Street figure it out. Let someone figure it out. But when you understand value, then that'll tell you what it's worth. This is why people won't sell, because they understand what they bought it for. The average price of a GameStop share over the last 4 years is $24 and some change. And if you're in the $24 range on cost average, you're okay. They just sold 140 million shares this summer, raised 3 billion, 4 billion, and what happens? The average price of those shares
Nothing.
$24.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where you're at. This is where you're at, but it'll spring load out of here. I could show you charts, like we can talk, we can talk logarithmic charts versus linear charts and all that. But you're looking at the greatest thing ever, from what I can see.
I mean, I want that to be true. I mean, I
It's
just,
true.
yeah, I refuse to get rid of the shares. I don't, yeah, I don't believe that there's a lot. I don't know. You see, even like a year or two ago, the people being like, okay, well, this story's over, blah blah blah, and I
I
just,
was told by Martin Scarelli that the stock's worth $6.
yeah, I mean, but
I was told by no, I'm serious. Martin Scarelli told me this stock's only worth $6. Morance, I did an interview with him, and after the end of talking with him, he goes, "Oh, okay, maybe it's worth 28." He bought it the next day for 40. That's the point. So people will come running. There's FOMO that's still out there. There's fundamentals that are out there. There's margins that are out there. Margin calls. Um, Let this get a little heavy. Let it get a little heavier. But GameStop's very close to the S&P 500. They just need to get their market value up. The actual um, market cap that they're looking for is around $20 billion. Once they're there, S&P 500 is available to them, eligible for them. Hopefully they get voted in. Once they're in, it's a murder. It's all she wrote, because now you have institutions that have to buy in, that trade off that index. You have ETFs that need to rebalance, that trade on and off the index. And if they all have to rebalance, they all have to buy in, you're going to see volume hit this stock when it hits the S&P, just like every other company does. Palantir just hit S&P 500 6 months ago, and it was so out of bounds. It was 500 on the PE ratio just after earnings, and people are like, buy it, Jim Cramer, buy it at 125, buy it. It's down below 90, and it's where it's supposed to go. You keep going down because it's just not there. It's not. It doesn't warrant $280 billion worth of market cap. But what I'm telling you, GameStop's so undervalued with the amount of cash they have. And you're talking about book value. Book value is $11 a share on GameStop. It's only trading at 1 or 2%, 2 times book. That's it. 2x on book. There's every company in the S&P 500 trades 6 or 7 or 10. Imagine GameStop trading at that. They would be $120, $150 a share. That's where we're going to be headed. So I understand fundamentals that way, and I'm sure every investor that gets out there, they'll figure it out. But Wall Street will come running. Analysts will get back into the stock. Analysts will start giving a rating, and then everyone will start listening again. But that's going to happen soon. Year or 2, maybe 3. Is that soon enough? I'll still be here buying more shares.
I think I'll still be here. I can't see myself selling them.
I got nothing to do. I'm good. I don't need the money.
No. I mean, the money would be nice.
Don't need it. I go to work. You make money going to work. That's it.
Yeah, as we all have to.
I'm with you, Josh.
There's one more thing I want to ask, but it's completely gone out of my head right now. It kept popping back in and then coming out. What was it?
You've been great, Josh.
GameStop,
great for me.
Many things. Investing, blah blah blah.
Kitty, Roaring Kitty.
Roaring Kitty. That's exactly what it was.
Okay, I figured.
What has he? What? Actually, how do you think he accumulated that many shares? That would be. That's the best question.
Wow. Yeah. I think he's a genius. I don't think people give him enough credit. He holds 5 series, or he held 5 series qualifications as an investor, and he was an educator for investing, and that was his real job. And then, on the internet, he's out there making videos, smoking cigars and cheers, but these are calculated conditions. And what he's doing is he's letting you know that he found it. He found something that, he found the algorithm, or he understands, what they're doing and how they do it. But if he's the only one, can you imagine? This man had $500 million, almost 750 million.
Was it not $1 billion at one point?
No, 750 million from what I saw, but he was approaching $1 billion if it would have hit this one number. They said $85 and whatever. I don't know. But he's close. Who cares? Well, look at what we're talking about. We're talking about numbers that are just unbelievable. If he sells, what happens? He rides off into the sunset. He's a billionaire or pretty close to it. And everyone else is going to be like, oh, we're out of here. This is it. You'll lose steam on it. I'm not invested because of Roaring Kitty. I'm just being honest. I'm invested because of Ryan Cohen. Roaring Kitty doesn't make decisions for GameStop and what the company does. I really enjoy Keith Gill's assessment of business. I think he has an acute view. I don't think he really knows all the ins and outs, but he's good. And I've analyzed it. I've watched his videos and I saw how he did it. But when it comes to picking out stocks and investments, this is the one that just really, really got it right, because a gamer's born every day. So I'll support Roaring Kitty and Keith Gill and what he's doing. And how do I think he got the shares? I think he's just a genius. And if anyone thinks anything else, then they don't understand that man. But he'll show up again one day, and he's going to have plenty of shares. And, the more that they dilute, GameStop dilutes and raises funds, and the less he has to show the world how much he owns. He would have to do a filing if he had over 5%. So he doesn't yet. Yeah.
I mean, his story is truly, truly fascinating to me.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely bonkers. Like, because he started with, I believe, $65,000.
53,000.
53,000.
53,000. No, you're good. 53.
I should know that, though. I mean, but I should know it, right? Having written like several chapters on him, I should probably
watch the movie.
The movie. I've seen the movie.
Yeah. Well, the movie was wrong, huh?
Yeah. Well, the movie thought it was done. Well,
there's a money grab. All these guys doing movies and interviews about stuff, it's just a money grab for them. They want to be in the moment and hit it while it's hot. Nah, I'm good. I don't need to. You know, the one documentary I did with James Janney, I found out, you know, he's just angling it to attack retail investors and make us look like we were, you know, out of our minds. That's okay. It's okay, James. You know, I know you watch the interview. I know you support my man, The Gist here, but James Janney, huge YouTube guy, 2 million followers. And I tell you, it was such a snake and a stab in the back. He's very genuine man to your face, but to partner up with private equity, partner up with the meltdown, and to speak on it, and I tell you, they use those interviews against me personally, in my personal life. So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes being a YouTuber and in promoting the truth and talking about GameStop that people don't see. So I just tell people, if you ever want a platform and you want to get big and you want to do your thing like we're doing, be careful. Be careful, because it'll come from all angles, and it has. You know, my life has been threatened physically, personally, in life. You know, doxed is one thing. You know, that's too easy. It's everything else, because I don't hide much on the internet. But these guys, they'll stop at nothing. They want to see you fail. People wake up every day hoping you fail, and they want to see your demise. That's how I can tell you how people are combating GameStop. But don't worry, all you GameStop investors. You're gonna win, and I know it.
You worried about how much hedge funds, private equity firms, and stuff could be able to have even more influence in these realms, just with bots and AI, and like, does that concern you?
Not at all. Not at all. They already have total control. I mean, they have people thinking Taylor Swift is the greatest musician of the last, 20 years, when nobody even cared about her 5 years ago. Nobody cared until Carlyle Group bought out the whole damn catalog. And then The Messenger put it out that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are dating. Well, who owns The Messenger? Go look at that, please. Google it.
Hey everyone, thanks for making it right the way to the end of the podcast. I love that you tuned in this long. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, because 80% of you bastards are not subscribing, but you're watching my videos. See you next time.